ॐ ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोः पदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरोः वाक्यम् मोक्षमूलं गुरोः कृपा. So we'll just read the last slokas 15, 16, 17, 18 and then go for 19 and 20. Two slokas today we can cover. So because they have a similarity in their message, so we'll do both. Start from 15. You have it in your mobile. Panchakoshaadi yogena तत्तन्मय इव स्थितः शुद्धात्मा नीलवद्भात् नीलवस्त्रादि योगेन स्फटिको यथा पपुस्तुषादिभिः कोशैः युक्तं युक्तैव घाततः आत्मानमन्तरं शुद्धं विविच्यात्तण्डुलं यथा सदा सर्वगतोऽप्यात्मा न सर्वत्रावभासते बुद्धावेवाभासेत स्वच्छेषु प्रतिबिम्बवत् देहेन्द्रियमनोबुद्धि प्रकृतिभ्यो विलक्षणम् तद्वृत्तिसाक्षिणं विद्यात् आत्मानं रजवत् सदा. A musical way he has composed the verses. Very musical the verses. Today, so he has explained us the Panchakoshas and he has explained the Atma is the essence or the inner core or the substratum of everything. Though Atma is everywhere, it is available only wherever there is a medium, there only it is available. And it is like a king, sovereign king, in whose presence every activity is going on. Then what is the confusion? I am sick, I am sad, I am happy, I am sorrowful. All that we are saying I. But in fact, the I is the Atma. Atma is never sorrowful. That's what he is bringing here. Okay? Now we see the 19th verse. I will sing it and you can sing along with me. व्यापृतेष्वीन्द्रियेष्वात्मा व्यापारी वा विवेकिनम् दृश्यते भ्रेषु तावत्सु Dhavan nivayatha shashi. So what happens in the night time? In olden days, people used to have a beautiful cot, put outside, no AC, nothing, enjoy the moon and relax like that. Beautiful relaxation. I enjoyed several nights like that. So then there will be clouds. And the moon, bright moon will be there. When the clouds are moving fast, it appears that as the moon is going fast. And as children, we used to ask my mother, why so fast the moon is going? Why Chandra is going? We did not understand it is not moon's movement. It is the clouds movement that we are transferring onto the moon. So all the movement is occurring in the body, mind, indriya, and the buddhi and everywhere. This moment we are transferring to Atma and saying, I am sick, I am sorrowful, I am big, I am tall, all that we are putting to the. That is why Dhavan iva yatha shashi. Yatha shashi is moon. Yatha shashi. Dhavan iva, as though he is running. When drishyate abhreshu dhavatsu, abhra is megha. Abhra is cloud. When the cloud is moving, we are thinking as though the moon is moving. That is the connotation. So let us split one by one. Vyapruteshu, while functioning, Vyapruteshu, Vritti, Vyapara. Vritti is the thought in the buddhi. I told you, for a function to occur, there will be a thought. That thought becomes an action. That reaction is called the Vyapara. Okay, Vritti, Vyapti. Vritti is the thought, Vyapara is the functional execution of the thought. Okay, Vyapruteshu, while functioning and executing the thought, Indriyeshu, in the organs, Atma, the self, Vyapari, the one who is actually doing the action, Eva, like the Atma appears as though it is the doing action. The Indriyas are having the vritti, buddhi vritti is there. Indriyas are executing the vritti. When they are executing, the action is done. When the action is done, Atma, it looks like an active Vyapari. Vyapari means very actively doing the work. By whom? Avivekinam. Those who do not discriminate the body and the Atma. Viveka is discrimination of Atma and Anatma. Aviveka is the one who is mixing of the Atma and the body. Avivekinam, for those who have a mix-up of the Chit and Jada. Chit is the Atma, Jada is the body mind indriya complex. So when you mix up these things, that is called the Chit Jada Granthi. Granthi is knot. Take one rope, another rope, you tie them and knot. So tightly, you are not able to open the knot. What is the knot? There is a Jada Amsha in me, there is a Chidamsha in me. The Chidamsha is the Sakshi Atma, Jada Amsha is the body mind indriya complex. It's called the BMI, body mind indriya complex, or the BMI. The BMI and the Atma are intertwined like a knot, and that is the Chit Jada Granthi. For the Aviveki, a Viveki can unknot it. This is Chit, this is body. Yeah, that is the Viveka. Drishyate appears, abhreshu, in the clouds, dhavatsu, that are moving and running clouds, dhavan iva, as though running, yatha, just like shashidam. Which is moving? The Magha is moving. Which is not moving? Chandra is not moving. So we are transferring the movement of the cloud to as though it is happening in this. For example, you are sitting in a train, all the things are going back, trees are going back. Which is moving? Trees are not going back. You are going forward. So you are transferring the movement of the train onto that. The faster it goes, the faster the things are going back. So this is like a sort of superimposition or adhyasa. Very beautiful example. And we will see the literal meaning of each one. Vyapruteshu indriyeshu means when the senses are active about their function. Each indriya sense has got a function. When the indriyas have got their function going on, Atma Vyapari eva, Atma the self Vyapari, as though it is the one which is acting. Avivekinam, to those who lack discrimination. Vyapari, as though the Atma is doing it. We consider. It is seen or understood in that way. Drishyate, it is understood or seen that way. Abhreshu dhavatsu, when the clouds are moving, dhavan iva yatha shasi, the moon appears as though it is moving. Abhreshu dhavatsu, dhavan iva yatha shasi. Let us read the sloka once again. व्यापृतेष्विन्द्रियेष्वात्मा व्यापृते इंद्रियेषु व्यापृतेषु when the indriyas are functioning atma vyapari iva is very important, like as though vyapari iva avivekinam drishyate. The avivekinam, the people who don't discriminate the atma and the body, they will understand like that. Drishyate. Abhreshu dhavatsu, when the cloud is moving, shashi yathathavanniva, just as the moon is moving. Okay. Now what is happening? There are two things are happening. Every human being, every prani for that matter, is conducting action. Action is going on every day. Either whatever action you have, action is going on. The action is coming from where? Coming from the BMI. The action is originated in the BMI, continued in the BMI, but the force behind that, the Adhisthana Atma, is the one which is Sakshi Atma. So in the previous sloka we learned, Dehendriya Mano Buddhi Prakritibhyo Vilakshanam. It is much different from the Sakshi. It is like a Sakshiga, you have to understand it like a Sakshi, just like the Rajayat. Now, so when the senses are active, the self is understood as though it itself is acting due to lack of proper discrimination. It is seen or understood that way by the person who does not have the viveka. When the clouds are moving, the moon appears as though it is moving. But for you, supposing I ask you, is the moon moving or clouds moving? You say, no. Moon is relatively stationary. Moon also moves after some time it shifts. Moon doesn't move, the earth moves, so the moon movement is felt. So this clouds only movement. But your child won't understand. He says, clouds are moving fast, daddy, you see silly. Like that, an aviveki perceives the movement in the body, mind, indriya complex as though it is the movement of the Atma. Acharya explains a common illusion. When the senses are active, the ignorant person thinks that the self is active. Okay. How are you? I am very sad. How are you? I am very happy. Who are you? You are I. I, the consciousness. Consciousness is never happy. Consciousness is never sorry. What is happy and sorry is only the mind. And you are transferring this attribute. I am hungry. Who is hungry? The body is hungry. The prana is hungry. I am hurt. There is an injury to me. Me means what? Your part of the body is injured, you say your Atma is injured. So that separation you have to maintain. When senses are active, ignorant thinks that the self is acting. Really it never acts. Atma is never a doer. Mind, body and sense system only acts. The meaning of aviveki here means not the one who did not study any ABCDs or did not have any degree. Viveki means that does not understand the Atma, Anatma differentiation. The Viveka is understanding this differentiation. Okay? Because of this confusion, I say I hear, I feel, I am happy, I am sorry, I act, I am hurt. All these things are coming. The role of the senses are there to see, touch, smell, and all that. They function through the body, but the self illumines in the process. It is like the Raja who is there and everything is going in his presence. This is called Sannidhi. In the Sannidhi Matrena, in the mere presence, in the presidentship of Adhyaksha. Adhyaksha doesn't do, or presidency, what does he do? Doesn't do. But his presence is required. In his presence only everything will go on like that. Because consciousness is present, instruments of function, due to identification with the instruments, one mistakenly thinks, I am doing. This mistake is called the superimposition, or also called the adhyasa. The moon analogy you have already understood. Here, in the moon place, the Atma you have to put. In the clouds which are moving, the body you have to. Moving clouds are the example of the moving body parts, body functions. Unmoving Chandra, moon, is in the example, is equivalent to the Atma, which is not the doer. What is the teaching? Atma is akarta. Karta is doer, akarta non-doer. Then who is the doer? BMI is. When BMI is doing, you say A is doing, A Atma is doing. Actually, it is the B that is doing. BMI is B. B is doing, but you transfer it to A. So the problems of B, we are transferring into A. So if we can maintain that little separation, we will be free of sorrow and all this unnecessary waviness in the mind. Now, little more deeper we will. The Advaitic insight here is self does not act. The activity belongs to the instruments which cover which are parts of the body. Just as the moon appears to move when the clouds move, self appears to act when the senses function. Understanding this dissolves the false notion that Atma is the doer. The doership of the Atma is not there. Atma is never a doer. Atma is consciousness. Consciousness needs a medium to produce some action. That medium is the body. When this medium is acting, we are transferring it to the original consciousness. Now, some more deeper insight. Actionless witness. Who are you? I am Atma. Atma is what? Actionless witness. Non-doer witness. Understanding Atman. How? See, in the study of Advaita Vedanta, we encounter a profound paradox. What is that? The Atman is described entirely as actionless. But day in and day I am active. No, without action, I am not able to conduct in the world. So, yet a single most essential factor for every action to perform is what? Atma is there. And the Atma of the consciousness is not there, none of these activities are occurring. So, Atma is essential and Atma is not. How is it possible? You are essential for the organization. You are not doing any work. That is a paradox. Paradox is what? In life, I am essential means I must be another doer. At least at one level, some level or other. But here in this Vedanta, Atma is essential, without which no action can go on. But Atma is not the doer, akarta. Without Atma, no action can be done. Atma does not act. Then how does it act? That is why several examples. The next verse will be very clearly tell them. For example, Surya is there, sun is there. He gives the sun example next one. That when we come to that, we will see. Now, how does Atma act? Chaitanya matrena, sannidhi matrena, in the very presence alone, like a catalyst. Last time we said, catalyst does not take part in the action, but it is required to be there for the action to propel. Okay. Chaitanya matrena, sannidhi matrena, avyaprita sakshi, which is not non-functioning sakshi, actionless witness. This actionless witness producing the action. The best example would be electricity. There are several electrical gadgets in your house. Do you think the electricity is rotating in the fan? Do you think electricity is glowing in the TV? Do you think electricity is giving the heater? Electricity, is it running the mixie? Is it doing anything? No. But do you require electricity or not? You require it. Without electricity, the instrument will be just dead. But electricity alone is not sufficient. I require the instrument to manifest itself. So each instrument in your body is like 5 indriyas, let us say. For them to function, Atma is essential. But is electricity essential? Is electricity doing? Not doing. Is it essential? It is essential. Like that, here Atma is not doing, but it is essential for all the functionality. In the very presence of Atma Chaitanya, or the consciousness alone, every activity is going on. Just like a simpler example would be, just like electricity is very essential for every gadget to function, but electricity is never fanning, It is never showing, it is never heating, it is never air conditioning by itself. When the indriyas are doing, when the instruments are doing, we are transferring to the property to the electricity.
So it is a property. It is a property of the fan.
So it is the yes property of the fan. We are transferring to the electricity.
The same electricity, if you give to some other thing, has different property.
It's a different property. Yeah, eye has got a one property, one indriya. It can only see. It cannot hear. Ear, it cannot see. However wonderful ears you have, it cannot see. However wonderful tongue taste you have, it cannot hear. So each fan, however good it is, it cannot give me a heater purpose or electric iron purpose. It cannot do. So each indriya is designed for one function. Just like each gadget is designed for one function. These gadgets are functioning all right. But this function we are thinking electricity is doing. Electricity's presence is essential, but electricity is not doing anything. Atma's presence is essential. Atma is non-doer. Na karta, akarta. Okay. So what is Atma and Anatma? Anything other than Atma is Anatma. What is the definition of Anatma? Atma is only one. Consciousness in you, she, everywhere. It's only one. Anything other than Atma, Anatma. Anatma means means negative. Nothing. Anything other than Atma is Anatma. Then is this Anatma? Yes. Is this body Anatma? Yes. Is my mind Anatma? Yes. Is this laptop Anatma? Everything. If our consciousness alone is one entity, everything else which is dependent upon the consciousness. And when the consciousness is not doing, still its presence is required. That is the Atma. Everything else is the Anatma. Moon, cloud, adhyasa, you have very clearly understood. This is only when you are a child, you have that adhyasa. Once you are grown, when you are intelligent, you don't have. But even now you have some illusion. For example, when there is a lunar eclipse, people take bath, people do this, people do all that. Is there something happening to the moon? Is there anything happening to the moon? It's planetary movement, positioning of the planets in such a way that the shadow is there and you perceive it. But we give a lot of importance to it and says lunar eclipse, Chandra is being swallowed by something. Is it not an illusion? An illusion we know from physics that how the lunar eclipse occurs. In spite of the knowledge, we are still in the illusion. In spite of the knowledge, the Atma doesn't do. Every time we are sad, we say, I am sad. Every time you are hungry, I am hungry. My body is hurt, my mind is sorrowful, my mind is happy. That you never say. You say I. You always attach that my to the I. So my cell phone is not myself. My mind that way is not myself. I am separate from that. Then only I can say mine. If you are cell phone, then say I self. I don't say myself. If you are mind, I say I mind. I don't say my mind. When I say my mind, that I is separate from the mind. Dasha Bahyendriyas are there, 10 external organs, 5 sensory organs, 5 motor organs are there, and 4 antahkaranas are there. What are they? 4 Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara, and Chitta. The 5 Jnanendriyas are Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Sabda is here. Ear, Shabda, Sparsha, skin, Rupa, eye, Rasa, tongue, Grana, that is the Gandha is the smell. These are the 5 sensory input organs. Output organs are 5. Like, hands, feet, Pani, Pada. Okay, Vak. This is also output organ. If you want to say something, human beings can express with the mouth. Vak, Pani, Pada. Then the excretory organs and generatory organs. These are the 5 karmendriyas, action, indriyas. Karma is action, indriya is instrument. Instruments of action, instruments of perception. Instruments of perception 5, instruments of action 5, and your inner indriyas are 4. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. These 14. These 14 only we can conduct along with the Pancha Puranas. 5 Puranas are there. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Apana, Udana. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Sama. Okay. When these instruments are functioning, they produce vritti. Vritti is their ability to act. Vyapara is the manifestation of the vritti. Vritti Vyapara, we say. Vritti is the ability to act, is the Vyapara. Vritti is the function of that. The vritti of the eye is to see. And able to see a rose flower is the Vyapara. Vyapara here is transaction. I is transacting with the world. That is the Vyapara. So now the analogy is there. Moon is stationary, silent, and uninvolved in the movement, but the clouds are moving. And likewise, Atman is actionless, stationary, remains still. Moving clouds rapidly shifting across the sky, and then moving indriyas and the body. These 14 internal and external instruments, they cause constant flux in you. Running the moon, an optical illusion caused by the proximity. Active self is also thought it is acting because of the illusion only. So that thinking that Atma is acting is an illusion or adhyasa. Adhyasa is the Sanskrit word for illusion. So in the moon case we say illusion. Here we say illusion or Bhranti. Adhyasa is the one. Okay. The Atman is actionless witness. What is the definition of Atman? Atman is the actionless witness. It is the pure consciousness without which no action can go, but it does not participate in any act. So how did we know witness? The previous one. Previous verse they have said, Dehendriya Mano Buddhi Prakriti Pyo Vilakshanam. Then Tadvrutti Sakshinam Vidyat Tadvrutti Sakshinam Vidyat Atmanam Rajavat Sada. So Atma is the non-participating essential component of the whole world, which is one and without any action, it is there as the witness of the Sakshi. Without the consciousness, nothing can move. But consciousness by itself does not do anything. A non-doer witness Atma consciousness is the one which we are now discussing. Okay. So, who is the universal enabler? Somebody is enlivening everything, enabling everything. Atma is the enabling Shakti or power for the entire universe. So, the sunlight is there. Sunlight next to a sloka also. Since sunlight has come, there is a robber who went for robbing a lady with the bag and he runs. Sunlight is sunlight required or not? In perfect darkness, he cannot do. So light is required. Do you think the sun is doing it? No. But is sun facilitating it? Yeah. He is a facilitator, but sun has not stolen her bag. The robber has stolen, the instrument has stolen. Mind is doing it. But the sun's presence, is it required? Yes, required. But is the sun doing it? It's not doing it. Like that, somebody is conducting a conference in beautiful sunlight, in an open air, like Gurukula. Do you think the sun is conducting that Vedic conference? No. Sun is there, he is shining. These people are doing it. So every time we use the sunlight for any different purpose, it is the sun is not the actual doer. But without that we cannot. Sunlight or moonlight or electric light, all are forms of light only. Sunlight is only transformed into your electricity. How come this electricity has come? Without the sun, can you produce electricity? You tell me one source of electricity. Without sun, you can produce hydroelectric energy, atomic energy, wind energy, chemical energy. Everything is dependent upon, again, the sunlight. So when we say sunlight, all artificial light also is a part of the sunlight. Okay. Now, what is Atma then? Sat, Chit, Sakshi, Ananda, A. Sat, Chit. Sat means existence. Because if this has to be there must be existence. Without existence, nothing can exist. Are you existing, Lakshman? Yes. But how are you existing? Because you have Sat. You have Sat in you. The Sat only makes you exist. Do you know that you are existing? Yes. That is the Chit. That is the knowing, awareness. So aware Sat and Chit, Satchit Atma. Satchit Atma is not the Panchakoshas. Satchit Atma is away from the Panchakoshas. And it does not do anything, but its presence is very much essential. Okay? Now we go to the light bulb heater and all we have already seen. So, recognizing yourself as the actionless witness is the key to psychological freedom. Psychologically, if you want to get rid of the turmoils of life, recognizing you are the actionless witness in whose presence all these confusions are occurring is the best way to free yourself from psychological freedom, to obtain a psychological freedom. Now let us look at the next verse. Before that, we will once again read this verse and व्यापृतेषु इन्द्रियेषु व्यापृतेषु इन्द्रियेष्वात्मा व्यापारी इव अविवेकिनाम्. When you combine that, it becomes vyapari iva avivekinam. Vyapari iva avivekinam. Vyapari iva avivekinam. So you have to split it. Vyapari iva avivekinam. Vyapari iva avivekinam. Drishyate apreshu dhavatsu. Dhavan nivayatha shashi. Okay, now let us go to the next verse. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Dehendriya Manodhiyaha Svakriyartheshu Vartante Surya Alokam Yatha Jana. Yeah. Again I am reading. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Dehendriya Manodhiyaha Swakriya Artheshu Vartante Surya Alokam Yatha Jana. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya, depending upon the Atma Chaitanya. Atma Chaitanyam, the consciousness of the Atma, Asritya, taking that power, depending upon the Atma Chaitanyam. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya. Atma is self. Its very nature is consciousness. The self as the consciousness. Using that power, Asritya, depending upon that, Dehendriya Manodhiyaha. Deha, Indriya, Manasu, Dhi. Dhi ante Dhiyaha is plural. Dehendriya Manodhiyaha. Rama, Lakshmana, Shatrugna and Bharata. Plural. When you have four of them, you combine Deha, Indriya, Mano, Dhiyaha. It is a Dvandva Samasa. Dvandva Samasa means two or more words are joined to form one meaning. Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, all are independent persons, but if you combine them in this one, they are all brothers and belong to Dasharatha's family. Alage Dehendriya Mano Dhiyaha. Deha, Indriya, Mano, Dhiyaha. Four entities, independent only. But in one stream, they are the BMI, body, BMS, body, SMI, BSMI, body, sensory organs, mind and indriya. But organs are again part of the mind only, so S can be dropped, you can say BMI. Without mind, organs cannot function. So BMI. Dehendriya Manodhiyaha is body, senses, mind and intellect, which is BMI. Who are taking the help? Dehendriya Manodhiyaha, these four, BMI, is depending upon Asritya. Asritya what? Atma Chaitanyam Asritya. Depending on the Atma Chaitanya, these four Swakrit. What are they doing? They are doing their own functions. What is their own function? Swakriyartheshu vartante. Swakriya. Swa, their self, kriya, action, vartante, doing. They are doing their work. Who are doing? Body, mind, indriyas and buddhi. Swakriyartheshu vartante. They are doing their work. How can they do their work without Atma? That is why Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Eva, taking the advantage and power of the Atma Chaitanya only, Dehendriya Manodhya Swakriyartheshu Vartante. So you said in the last sloka, Atma doesn't do. Okay, Atma doesn't do, then who is doing? So BMI is doing. Can BMI on its own do? No. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Swakriyartheshu Artante. Who are these fellows? Dehendriya Mano Buddhi. Dehendriya Manodhi. This is Buddhi. Okay? Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Dehendriya Manodhiya Swakriyartheshu Artante. Again a beautiful example. Surya Lokam Yatha Jana. Yatha, just like Janah people. Surya Alokam. Surya Alokam means Aloka is Prakasha. Aloka, the word Aloka is light. The light of the Surya, Asritya, taking the advantage of the Surya light, people are working. Taking the advantage of the Atma light, the Indriyas are working. BMI is working. Is the Surya working? No, he never works. Is he not essential to do? Yes, he is essential. So this is the paradigm. Atma doesn't do, but we cannot do away with Atma. You have to have the Atma. You have to have the consciousness. Consciousness does not do, but consciousness is the most essential thing of every action. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya, taking advantage and depending on the Atma Chaitanya alone, Dehendriya Manodhiya, Deha Indriya Manasu Buddhi. What are they doing? Vartante, conducting. What are they conducting? Kriyartheshu vartante, doing actions. Whose actions? Swakriyartheshu vartante, in their respective actions. Eyes are seeing, ears are hearing. This Kenopanishad, beautiful opening. The Shishya goes and asks the teacher, Sir, who is that is seeing? He asks. And what is the answer? Who is that is seeing? There is a question. Kereshitam preshitam manaha kena pranaha praitiyuktam. That is the starting verse. And the teacher says, there is one ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind, buddhi of the buddhi, that is doing. He will not give direct answer. The mind of the mind thinks, the ear of the ear hears, the eye of the eye sees, the taste of the taste tastes. Like that he replies. Very indirect way. That means the Atma or the Chaitanya does all these things without doing actually. Just like the electricity doing all the functions without actually becoming the fan, without actually becoming the lighter. Atma never does the function of any one of these things. But there are so many variables. All these are propagated or supported by only one Chaitanya. And that's why he says, Atma Chaitanyam Asritya, Suryalokam Asritya. Surya Alokam, the light of the Surya, Asritya, depending on that. Yatha Jana, the people, Yatha, just like that. Jana, what are they doing? Swakriyartheshu Vartante. They are doing the respective action. Swakriyartheshu Vartante is for Dehendriya Mana Buddhi and Jana also. Jana also, Swakriyartheshu. Lakshman is going to office and he is going to class. This lady is doing some cooking. All these are people are doing their own work in the light only. Suppose there is total darkness. What are you going to do at home? Every day we are facing 5 minutes, the light doesn't come. Then we have to stop and wait when the next resumption comes. Somebody puts a message, is the DJ tripping? No, it is the dance of the cosmic dance, the BBMP dance or whatever it is, just comes dance. So light is essential. Surya prakashat ashritya svakriyartheshu vartante jana. They are doing their respective activity. Yatha, just like that. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Dehendriya Manodhiya Swakriyartheshu Vartante. Swakriyartheshu Vartante is common to both the example as well as that's why he has created that way. He has put it between Dehendriya Manodhiya and Surya Lokam Yatha Jana. Between that, Swakriyartheshu Vartante. This is called Deha Deepa, that's really Nyayam. That is, you put a lamp on the doorway, lamp shines that side as well as this side. This is called Deha Deepali Nyaya. That is keeping a phrase in such a way it gives a meaning to the previous one and also to the later. It's a beautiful poetic way of saying that. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Dehendriya Manodhiya Swakriyartheshu Vartante Surya Lokam Yatha Jana. Alokam is the light. Some books you may say Surya Lokam. It is wrong. Surya Lokam is Surya's Lokam. Surya's Lokam. The Lokam of Surya. Surya Lokam means the light of Surya. If you say Surya Lokam, that Dirgha, Surya is missing. That reduces one syllable. Then the chandas will be affected. You should not reduce that syllable. Surya Lokam is the correct. If you split it, Surya Alokam, light of the Surya, not the Surya Lokam, Surya Lokam. That's the way you have to do. If there is a patha or the reading like that, you omit that reading. Atma Chaitanya Asritya, depending on the consciousness of the self only, the Dehendriya Manodhiya, body, senses, mind, and intellect, Swakriyartheshu Vartante, function in their respective activities. Swakriyartheshu Vartante, function in their respective activities. Surya Lokam, that is Yatha Janaha, just as people work in the sunlight, in the light of the sun. So the central teaching is, Acharya explains, in the earlier verse I have said, Atma is akarta. Then you may wonder how the body is functioning, BMI is functioning. It borrows this one. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya means borrowing the power of the Atma. Only these are doing. We are all on the borrowed existence, borrowed power. None of the Indriyas have got self-power. The power is borrowed. The mixie borrows the power to do the mixie job from the electricity. Okay, the light borrows the power to illuminate from the electricity. We, the Indriyas and the body-mind complex, borrows the Chaitanya for propelling of the functions. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya, depending upon the consciousness only. Without awareness, no perception, no thought, no action, no experience. Consciousness is the basis of all. Okay, Acharya mentions body, mind, sense, intellect. That is BMI. These together make the individual equipment. The individual equipment is made up of 4 parts: BSMI, body, senses, mind, intellect. They act, but they have no independent power to act. They are on the borrowed power. Self is not the doer, not the thinker, not the perceiver, not the walker, not the sleeper, not the dancer, not the teacher. But in its presence only every activity is going. Yat karoshi yadasnasi, yat juhoshi dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madam. Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you do, think, smell, act, all that you submit to me, he said. Submit to me means what? Me here is Chaitanya. Atma only is doing. Analogy of sunlight you have understood. Sun does not cook. Sun does not walk. Sun does not go to office. Sun does not talk. Sun does not conduct meetings. But everything is conducted in the presence of sunlight only. Like that. Application of the analogy. Body acts, mind acts, senses perceive, limbs walk, but all this happens in the light of consciousness only. The self remains unchanged. It is a unchanging witness. Sakshi is not involved in anything. The definition of Sakshi means a person who does not, who is just a witness and not a part of the ongoing thing. In the verse 19, self appears as though it is doing to the ignorant. Avivekinam. As though self is doing, there was a confusion. There is an adhyasa. In 20, the person has now understood self is not working. But is self required? Yeah. Atma self is required. But does it work? It doesn't work. Then who works? Body, mind. Atma Chaitanyamashritya Dehendriya Manodhi Dhivi Manodhi Dehendriya Manobuddhi Swakriyartheshu Vartante Swakriya Artheshu. Kriya is action, Artha is result of the action. Swakriyartheshu Vartante Surya Lokam Yatha Jana. Just like people conduct their respective activities in the very sunlight. By the blessing of the sun only, everything is happening. By the blessing of the only, everything is happening. Does the Atma participate in the marriage function? He does not. The person who is blessing is not part of the marriage, but he just blesses it. Just like Atma is just blessing every activity and it is not part of the doership. Activity belongs to the body, thinking belongs to the mind, decision belongs to the intellect, awareness itself is propelling all these things. What is the Vedantic implication? Self, Atma is akarta. Okay. At least does it enjoy the actions? Does Surya enjoy your good things? No. You did very good things. All these things. Did Surya enjoy the papa? When a person has robbed her purse, will he get that? So it is neither the enjoyer nor the doer. Atma is neither the doer nor the enjoyer. In Sanskrit words, we say nakarta abhokta. Non-doer, non-enjoyer. Then what is it? Sakshi. What is the Sakshi? Chaitanyam as a Chaitanya, unaffected by any of the things, unchanging Sakshi. Okay. Vital presence of Atma Chaitanya. Atma Chaitanya is now vital or not vital? It is very vital for every function to activate. Atma Chaitanya is essential. But Atma Chaitanya, does it do the action? No. The actions you cannot transfer to the Atma. The fruit also you cannot transfer to the Atma. If fruit comes by your good deeds, you only have to enjoy. Atma will not enjoy anything. I am enjoying, you say. I have studied well, so I have got a very good job. And I am enjoying the fruits of my studies and good job. Atma is receiving salary or you are receiving salary. You, the body, mind, indriya complex only, is affected by the fruit or the action. So, you have to separate yourself from I means not you. Whenever I am saying I, is the Atma, the Chaitanya. So the rigorous analytical framework of Advaita Vedanta, the relationship between pure consciousness and the apparatus, the functional apparatus of the individual is fundamental. I have got two things. The consciousness power is there and the apparatus is there. What is the relationship between them? Is it servant-master relationship? Is it worker-master relationship? Is it teacher-student? It is a relationship where Atma Chaitanya is essential but will not do anything, will not enjoy anything. The apparatus will do everything, but it cannot do anything without the blessing of the Chaitanya. That is the relation.
It's like it's fueling.
Huh?
It is like petrol in the car.
Yeah, the petrol doesn't take the car anywhere, but without petrol, car cannot run. Just simply can petrol take you everywhere? No, you require the car. Just like the electricity, can it do mixie work? No, you require a mixie. I have electricity, I will prepare chutney. No, you cannot. Electricity is required, equipment also is required. The apparatus and the Chaitanya. So the analytical framework is the relation between the pure consciousness and the apparatus. Apparatus here is BMI, body, mind, sense, indriya, complex. Depending upon the vitality of the consciousness or the Atma Chaitanya only, the body, sense, mind, intellect engage themselves in their respective activities, just as men work in their respective fields of activity in the sunlight. Atma Chaitanya refers to the self which is of the nature of pure consciousness. Central thesis is the complex is BMI, Dehendriya Manodhi. It possesses no autonomous power to act. The power to act is granted there, but the person doesn't work. Last example he said, Rajavat Sada. The king's power is required for the field to be tilled, but he doesn't go and do plowing in the field. Plowing is done by somebody. King has to bless him. Okay, you go and till that land. That fellow will go and take. So that is just like the Rajavan. The entity entirely dependent upon this transcendental vitality. This vitality is not available. Who is that vitality? I want to see Atma, which is blessing to do all these activities. Let me see that Atma, I can't grasp it. So this is a transcendental vitality. They are entirely dependent upon the transcendental vitality. So kriyartheshu vartante. Now, another thing is we have to learn here the dual requirement of activity. For any activity to go, for the apparatus to function, there are two things are required. First, the apparatus should be there. Then the apparatus should be powered. Isn't it? Madam, you have a mixie. You want to do a mixie job in your house. You require two things. First, the mixie should be there, a functioning mixie. Mixie is there, but it should be a functioning, no? Then there must be a power to make the mixie function. The mixie part, the part is the sat. Existence part is the apparatus presence, existence. Existence is the sat. Chit is the power which makes it act. Sat and Chit only are required. Sadamsha and Chidamsha. Sat is the existence part of any. This is their existence. It is, bodily is. The easiness is the Sat. I know the bottle is, that knowledge knowing it is bottle, it contains water. I am able to find out by the shaking like that. That awareness is the consciousness. Sat Chit. Sat is before any activity can manifest, the instrument must exist. And that is the Panchakoshas. These Panchakoshas are the instrument. That is the Sadamsha of the Sat Chit. The Chidamsha is for the Panchakoshas to work, the BMI to work. The power is given by the electricity, like that the power is given Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Dehendriya Manodhi Swakriyartheshu Vartante. That in their respective activities they conduct. But does the Atma do? No, it does not. It will not participate in action. Okay, at least will it eat the Mysore pak I prepared? No, it doesn't eat. It doesn't do the Mysore pak, nor it tastes the Mysore. It does not, it is not the Bhokta and it is not the Karta. Atma non-doer, non-Karta. Okay, let Atma not do the Mysore pak. I will prepare the Mysore pak with my equipment, but at least let the God eat the prasada I have prepared. God doesn't eat. You prepare lot of prasada, put Pranaya Swaha, Vayana Swaha, Jhanaya Swaha, Madhya Pani, all that. He will eat. If God eats, nobody will prepare prasada. If Vigneswara starts eating, she will not prepare anything because you have to feed one more big fat fellow along with all the 5 children you have. Nobody will prepare prasad. Because God is not eating, we are preparing prasad. Here, the idea is God doesn't eat means the Atma is not the enjoyer. Atma is not the enjoyer, not the doer. Okay, he is not doing, not have I take him away. No, not possible. Without him, function cannot happen. See, you are not doing anything to the organization, nor you are getting any benefit of the organization. Why are you there in the organization? You can better get away. Get out of the organization. No, not possible. With you only, everything is possible. That is the pattern. You understand? You are essential there, but you neither participate nor receive any benefit. Not karta, not doer. Just like the electricity, it blesses every instrument. Okay, mixie ji, you function your work. Okay, light ji, you do your work. It blesses. But electricity ji, you yourself can. No, I cannot. He only has light. Okay, electricity, you can grind the jet. No, I can't grind. Mixie will grind. Like that only. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Dehendriya Manodhi Swakriyartheshu Vartante. Suryalokam yatha jana. A Suryalokam yatha jana, Dehendriya Manobuddhi, in between this Svakriyartheshu Vartante is interposed. This connects both. I told you that type of a special poetical talent to keep some words or phrases so that they give a focus that side as well as this side also. Okay? So, what is this ultimately? In English, if you want to say in one word, I want to say one thing about Atma in English without giving any Vedanta talk, Vedanta fervor to it. I want to say one thing. Tell him, describe him in one word. Actionless enlever. Actionless enlever. Put enlevens everything, makes everything live. Everything comes to life only because of that. But it is actionless. An actionless enlever. Akarta, Bhokta, Atma, Chaitanya is the blessing for every action to go in the world. Surya Loka, you have understood. Okay. So oneness and plurality. So the Chaitanya electricity is many electricities or one electricity in your home? Only one. How many gadgets? Many gadgets. Electricity is only one. The gadgets are many. Atma Chaitanya is only one. The gadgets are many. And in you itself, several sub-gadgets are there. Lakshman's eyes, Lakshman's ears, Lakshman's body. Like she has got several sub-gadgets. So like sub-parts are there. Like that many people, many gadgets, all are there, plural. But one singular one only is the activity. One singular source is illuminating the entire universe of Chaitana and Jada, sentient and insentient. But this is not knowing that it is there, the bottle. But the easiness who is giving? The easiness is a property of the Atma, isn't it? So spiritual corroboration, Kenopanishad, I have already told you. श्रोत्रस्य श्रोत्रं मनसो मनो वाचोह वाचिं प्राणस्य प्राणः श्रोत्रस्य श्रोत्रम the ear of the ear manaso mano the mind of the mind pranasya pranaha the prana of the prana like that he says what an answer he gives. This will ask who is seeing, who is hearing, who is tasting, who is thinking. The student will go and ask. He could have simply said, your eyes are seeing. No, no. There is one thing called Srotrasya Sotram, that is seeing. You go and find out what it is, he will say. It's a beautiful Upanishad. So this Atma is Chaitanyasya Chaitanyam, Kameshasya Chaitanyam, Reshmasya Chaitanyam, Sashiyasya Chaitanyam, Sarasya Chaitanyam, Lakshmanasya Chaitanyam. So you are the equipment, and that is the power. That is the ear of the ear, eye of the conclusion. Okay, we are nearing 2 minutes. Fundamental error in human condition is failure to discriminate these two. Fundamental error or aviveka or ajnana is not able to discriminate the Chaitanya from the equipment, the apparatus from the blessing. Blessing is the Chaitanya, apparatus is the body, mind. I am getting confused always. This body, mind itself is myself. I am the Chaitanya. Although the Atma is avyaparaha, doesn't conduct any action, actionless, only the it is the adhisthana or the adhyaksha in whose presence everything is happening. The actionless endeavor. Atma is vital but actionless. Actionless endeavor, the silent witness is the Atma. Then why should I know? Because you are that, you are not the being. I am that Chaitanya, I am that silent endeavor, I am not the BMI. Let us read this verse once again. Atma Chaitanyam Asritya Dehendriya Manodhiyah Svakriyartheshu Vartante Suryalokam yatha janah. Janah, not janah. Yatha janah, plural is there, no? Janah means people. Yatha janah. Janah is the plural form of people. It's a plural. So janah here. Okay. So this is why this finishes exactly 1 hour. We have